Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. So, I am struggling right now, y'all. I'm in severe pain. I have a really, really bad headache, migraine. I am throwing up, but I had to get on and talk to you guys because I want to talk to you guys when I'm having a hard time, and I want y'all to know that I struggle too. So today's one of those days where I'm just I feel horrible, and I'm not even going to work today, and that's I never call in, and it's my brain feels like it's just about to come out of the front of my head, and so I'm in a lot of pain. But I was on YouTube, and I was watching one of my friend's videos. His channel's called The Rewired Soul. Good morning, Avalon. And good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm so excited to talk to you guys today. I might seem a little down. It's just I have a really bad headache right now. His channel's called The Rewired Soul, and he was talking about closet sobriety. Are you in the closet about your sobriety? Are you hiding it from people? Are you ashamed to share that you're in recovery? And I wanted to talk about that because it inspired me when I saw his video. And so I wanted to share with you guys how I started sharing my experience, because I also was hiding my recovery from others because I felt scared to share, and I felt ashamed, and I felt embarrassed because I was a drug addict mother, and I was a drug addict pregnant mom, and I used drugs while I was pregnant with my son, and I used drugs after I had my son. And so I thought, what will people think about me if they see that, I'm in recovery, but I have a 3-year-old and I've only been sober for 2.5 years. So that means I must have been using when I had him, And so I was very scared to share my experience, strength, and hope, because I was like, what'll happen? People will talk about me. And, so the first year of my sobriety, I didn't really share anything about my recovery with anybody because I was ashamed and I was scared. So I just went to meetings, and I remember the treatment center that I had went to and graduated from. On my year sobriety birthday, they asked me to come back and tell my story. And I was so nervous, you guys. I was like, how am I going to talk for a whole hour? How am I going to share my story for a whole hour? Surely I won't be able to do that. Good morning, Roberta. And so I came in and I told my story, and I went over an hour, and I talked for an hour and 30 minutes. And you guys, by the time I got done sharing my story, the whole room was in tears. I love you too, Christy. And there were so many people that came up to me after the story, and it was kids that are in treatment, all ages, men that were 50 years old, all the way down to kids that were 17, 18 years old. And everybody came up to me after I had finished telling my story, and they were like, you don't understand how much your story helped me. And they were saying how they could relate to a lot of the things that I shared, and they were saying that they had done those same things too. And so when I heard that, and I felt that feeling like I'm not the only one who used drugs pregnant, I'm not the only one who stole from my family, I'm not the only one who, overdosed so many times I was in a coma. You guys, all those things that I shared with them, they were coming back and saying how they could relate, and that fellowship and that oneness and camaraderie with them, and them sharing their experience with me, it lit a fire in my soul. And I was like, so many people are out here struggling with the same addiction I am, and I'm over here keeping it a secret. And why am I doing that? And so that's what inspired me to start telling my experience and sharing my story, in Facebook and here on YouTube, and sharing with people what I do to stay sober, because I thought, if I can just share a little bit of what I do, maybe they can share some of the stuff they do to me, and I can learn too. You guys, I learn so much from you guys every single day. Like, it is like an army of support that I have built up, and it's amazing. Like, we don't know each other, like we haven't seen each other in real life, but I know you guys. Like, y'all are my people, you know, and it makes me happy to know you guys and to have you guys in my life. So sharing my experience, it helps me stay sober. I know, Avalon, and I am still struggling and working with my sponsor on that guilt and shame that I have also. What's wrong, Bubba? My son is so bad, y'all. Yes, baby.
Can you stay over here?
Yes, I'll be right up. Let me share this with you guys. I suffer hard with guilt and shame, and I overcompensate by spoiling my son, and now I'm struggling with his attitude and his behavior. And so I'm working with my sponsor, and it's hard, you guys. It's really hard to say. Like, I feel so guilty because I would just take him anywhere with me, you know. I took him to the drug dealer's house, and I took him to dope cooks' houses. When I look at him, I think how lucky I am to have his love, you know. And every time I look at him, I think about what I did, and it reminds me, you know. But it also reminds me that he is a miracle, and that something somewhere is taking care of me, you guys. You know, I don't know what y'all believe in, but if it, you know, I want to start opening my meditation for more people that maybe don't believe in God. And I really understand that. And I want you guys to know that, like, I respect everybody's, like, beliefs and your opinion and like, I believe in the universe. I believe in God. I believe in nature. I believe in so many things, you know, and, that helps me. You know, I know that there's something out there that's more powerful than me, that's guiding me through this life. Because if there wasn't, I would not be here, you guys. I would be dead, because I was just killing myself every day, you know, injecting all these horrible drugs into my system until the point where I was not even able to speak, you guys. Like, I cannot believe that I can put together sentences and talk to you guys like I am talking now, because my brain shouldn't even be functioning. Like, I was a vegetable walking around in a coma all the time. It was crazy. Yeah, I know, Roberta. And the thing about it is, this is what, in the program that I'm in with the 12 steps, what we do is we have to, like, dig down deep inside. And so I've identified that a lot of my pain and stuff is from that shame and guilt that I have associated with using while I was pregnant with my son. And a lot of other stuff is from, like, trauma that I experienced while I was in my active addiction with getting raped, and just things that really happened to me that were horrible things. But what happens is, I have this, my brain wants to tell me that if I wasn't on drugs, that would have never happened. But it doesn't matter if I was on drugs. It doesn't matter if I was waving my punani in the air for everybody to see. Like, I should have never been raped, you know? And so now I'm working with my sponsor and a therapist, to, like, get those issues. And really, like, right now, y'all are catching me, like, I'm working really hard on facing my guilt and shame, and, like, writing about it, talking about it, sharing about it, because I want to get it out of me. Like, I don't want to feel this, like, undying need to always do things to make up for the pain, you know, make up for what I did. And my son doesn't even remember it, you guys. I'm sorry, you're right. My son doesn't even remember it. He doesn't even know he got taken away. He doesn't remember. I mean, he was only a year old, just turned. But I remember, you know. So I'm really working hard on processing it, you know, and processing it until I process it out, you know. But I just finished working my 12 steps with my sponsor. So now what I'm doing every day is I make a 10th step inventory, which is like, I ask myself if I harmed anybody or if there was something that I could do differently, and I write it down, and I talk about it, and I try to make my wrongs right away if I ever hurt anybody, you know? And so that's really been helping me a lot too, because I haven't been carrying things over into the next day. You know, and it's really like, it's kind of an awesome thing to like do, because I never would have done that before. I would have just like been pissed off for a while about it, you know? Yeah, Avalon, it helps me because it's like checking myself, you know, and I have to, because I will get so excited about life and just excited about YouTube and Instagram and talking with people. I love meeting new people and talking and sharing our stories and sharing our recovery with each other. Like, I love that. It gives me life, you know, and like, if I could work in a helping profession, I would love it. It would be everything, you know, but right now it's just too soon because I'm so fragile with, you know, 2.5 years working with my sponsor and I still feel fragile, you know what I mean? So it's just been years and years of like not coping with life. You know, 12 years I was in my active addiction and just not coping, pushing it down. And now it's like, I'm learning how to cope with things, and it's difficult, and I'm not used to it, but I feel stronger, and I feel like I'm building myself and my life up, you know what I mean, by learning these new things. And don't you, listen, Timmy, did you think, okay, when I finish doing the 12 steps, I'm going to be cured, and life's going to be great, and everything's, like, that's what I always thought, that we would, like, be cured. But now I'm learning that this is just like a process, forever long process of us, but at least we have a solution to make our lives better, you know. And that's what you've got to get this book, this Russell Brand book, or I'll send it to you after I'm done reading it. It is so freaking awesome, you guys. And me and my 2 friends are going walking every day, and on Tuesdays, we're doing like a book club, me and 2 other girls, and we're like reading it together. And then we're discussing it while we walk the Big Dam Bridge. It's like this real beautiful trail out here. And so I'm like, heck yeah, you know, this book is like making me get excited about my recovery again. And like, I'll have these lulls where I'll be like, you know, oh, being sober sucks, you know, and and then I have to remember, because for me, it's like, I can't just go out and like take a pill and relax for a day. Like, if I do that, you guys, it sets off this obsession in my mind and this craving that's unbearable, to where I just want to like get fucked up. So it's like, I have to keep on reminding myself, like, there's no like take a break off switch with my recovery. Like, I have to stay on it, because if I don't, I will go out and I will stay out, because anytime I relapse, I don't come right back. I stay out for a couple of years. Last time I stayed out for 3 years, and it was a long 3 years, a long, hard 3 years, you know, and I don't want to lose my life. And I feel like I don't have another comeback inside of me, you know, like, I'm afraid if I went back out today that I would shoot up something and die. And then my family would be, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me today, you know. But I was reading, I was just crying yesterday. I mean, bawling. Because I had plans to go with my friends and do the book club, right? Well, yesterday, my little angel had an accident when we were out at the car dealer, because I was getting something fixed on my car, and he had a poo-poo accident. No big deal. Accidents happen, right?
It's not accident.
Then we got home. At the playground, right?
No.
The tubes. Yeah, at the tubes, he had an accident. He's right here. And then we got home, and I was getting ready to go walk with my friends, and he was going to go with me, and he had another accident. And it was because he was having soft poo-poos. Right, baby? Accidents happen. No big deal.
I just had one accident.
Yeah, just one. And then I had to give him a bath, and I just was like, I can't get him out. Maybe he's not feeling good, you know, so I had to stay home. And I just got so upset. Like, I was crying because I was just like, I want to be free. I want to go out and, like, be able to go out with my friends and do our recovery together and laugh. And sometimes it gets overwhelming being a mom. And so I can just imagine what it's like being a grandmother. So you're basically doing it all over again. And I know grandmas love their grandbaby so much. And you guys, like, I know, I understand, and I know where you're coming from. I feel the same way. Sometimes I just want to tap out of mom life. And I just want to go to sleep and not wake up for the whole day. But then I look at my little boy and I think, if it wasn't for him being born, then I wouldn't even be here to talk to you guys about that, you know? And I'm so grateful to be able to be a mother too, you know, and have him to love me unconditionally no matter what, because that's what he does. He loves me no matter what. He loves me when I'm sad. He loves me when I'm mad. He loves me with makeup on, without makeup on. He tells me every day how beautiful I am. Don't you?
Beautiful.
Say hi there, babe. Tell him how beautiful I am.
Kiss my peep.
Well, oh, Lordy. We're in a phase where we talk about our peepees all the time. Go, Nate. Caca boy. Shh. So, anyway, I just really, really love you guys so much. And I love doing these live videos. And I love doing the meditation in the morning. And so I'll read y'all a meditation I found on the computer and see what you guys think. Yeah, he's talking about his pee-pee all the time, girl. It's like a never-ending story.
I need to do something on that. I need to do something on
What, baby? Let me get on this computer and then I'll let you play, okay?
Wait.
Yeah, he's a hoot, all right. Listen,
Mom,
y'all, think about it. We're walking out of the Dollar Tree, and he looks up in the air, and he goes, I love vaginas. Because he was asking about what the parts were, and so I told him what it was, and now he says it all the time, and I'm so embarrassed. Yes, my love. Yes, I know what it is.
Mommy.
And I'd rather him know the correct name for it than calling it something else.
Something else.
Yes. I don't know. We'll have to check. Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's mom life. Okay, so this one is from the daily meditation, and it's March 14th, so it says, the keystone. A keystone is the wedge-shaped piece at the highest part of an arch that locks the other pieces in place. The other pieces are steps 1, 2, and 4 through 12. In one sense, this sounds like step 3 is the most important step. That the other 11 depend on the third for support. In reality, however, step 3 is just one of 12. It is the keystone, but without 11 other stones to build the base and arms, keystone or not, there will not be an arch. Through daily working of all 12 steps, I find that triumphant arch waiting for me to pass through to another day of freedom. So step 3 is, what is it? Willing to find a power greater than myself. Right. Let me see. I'm horrible at my steps. I don't have it memorized. I usually get step 3 and 4 mixed up.
Mom,
okay.
I lost my tooth.
Yeah.
I lost my tooth back there.
Okay.
You don't feel it anymore?
Huh, baby?
My tooth is gone out there. My tooth is
You're gone. Oh.
What?
Will our lives over to the care of... okay. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of our higher power as we understood him. How about that? And I'm going to read what it says in here. It says, practicing step 3 is like the opening of a door, which to all appearances is still closed and locked. All we need is a key and the decision to swing the door open. There is only one key, and it's called willingness. Once unlocked by willingness, the door opens almost of itself, and looking through it, we shall see a pathway beside which is an inscription. It reads, This is the way to a faith that works. In the first 2 steps, we were engaged in reflection. We saw that we were powerless over alcohol, but we also perceived that faith of some kind, if only in AA itself, is possible to anyone. These conclusions did not require action. They required only acceptance. Like all the remaining steps, step 3 calls for affirmative action. For it is only by action that we can cut away the self-will which has always blocked the entry of our higher power. Faith, to be sure, is necessary, but faith alone can avail nothing. We can have faith, yet keep our higher power out of our lives. Therefore, our problem now becomes just how and by what specific means shall we be able to let him in. So, you know that saying, faith without works is dead? You know, having faith but no action is we're just going to stay stunted in the same place. So, willingness to make change and, you know, take the first step and say, I need help, you know, is like a huge thing. And I remember whenever I thought, oh, I'm willing. And then my sponsor started asking me to do things like go to these meetings every day. And then she started asking me to keep a journal. And then she started asking me, you know, just little things like to say my prayers in a position on my knees in the mornings, you know. And I started thinking, well, am I really willing? Because I don't want to do all this. I know, that's right. Yeah, and I totally believe that too. It's like there's something out there that's guiding us, and whether it's God to you, or the universe to you, or nature, or like the group, the fellowship itself, and that fellowship that you have with other people, you know, there's something out there that's like keeping us all on this like little universe. I mean, think about it. When I start thinking too hard, I think, wow, look at this. Look at the world. Look at me. I'm talking to you guys on like, this is all amazing technology, miracles, things happening. Like, it's just amazing. Yes, Christian, and I do. Like, it's whenever I started really having that willingness to make changes in my life and to do things differently, I started seeing and my perspective on things totally changed. The way I looked at life changed. The way I looked at different, like, signs, like you're saying, things that have meaning, like people coming into my life. And normally I wouldn't think anything of it, but I would think, wow, this is how crazy. Like, for instance, my sponsor, I met her at my last job. I used to work in a store that sells greeting cards. I'm sure y'all can guess what store that is. But I used to work at a store here in Little Rock. And she came in one day, and I was talking about how grateful I was for my job and just to be at work that day, because I was just having a good day and I wanted to share it with somebody. And she asked me if I was, you know, a friend of Bill's, which means, am I in recovery? And I said, yes, ma'am. And she told me that she went to Celebrate Recovery, which is like a faith-based recovery program. And she started sharing a little bit about that with me. And I thought, okay, well, I gave her my number. And I give lots of people my number, so no big deal. I didn't think anything about it. Well, me and the sponsor I was working with, we were very close friends, and we ended up deciding that we shouldn't work together anymore because it was causing a rift in our friendship. And so we separated and stopped working together, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to have a sponsor. Like, I know I do. I know that I need that guidance and that mentorship, you know, and that somebody to walk me through the steps, because I know the steps will help me, because I've seen it work for other people, and so I know it can work for me. So I called her out of nowhere and asked her to be my sponsor, and she goes, heck yeah, Christian, I'm so glad that you've got 7 months. That's amazing. Like, that is such a huge accomplishment. And stopping drinking is like one of the hardest things to do. I know, believe me. And so I'm so proud of you. And anytime you ever need support, we're here for you. And you can always come over here and talk with me. I love talking with you guys.
Come
Okay, baby, hold on. I'm just talking to the people about some stuff. So, I called her and asked her to be my sponsor, and she goes, "You don't know me. I could be an axe murderer." And she was right. She could have been. But she took me out, and we went to eat, and I told her my story, and she told me hers. And we just decided to work together. She said, "I can do this." And I was like, okay. It took me 2.5 years to get a sponsor. Yeah, and I'm so glad you got one, Avalon, because for me, like, the longer I stay away from that is the easier it gets for me to go, oh, I don't need a sponsor. And my mind will tell me,
come on.
That's right. It does. It does get worse. And you know what? Today, that's just not an option for me. Like, I love my son and I love my life today, and I don't want to lose all that, you know? And that's what it's all about, is like having a purpose. That's what it was about for me, is I had to find my purpose in life, you know? Now I feel like I have a purpose-driven life, and I have you guys to talk to, and I have you guys to share my experience with, and then I have my son to take care of. So it's like,
pick me up.
I have this purpose, and it's like it's the best I've ever felt in my life. I don't know what I would do. I even find purpose at my job, you guys, because I love helping people.
Mom,
So we're gonna go.
I'll hold that for you so you can.
Oh yeah, cigarettes and alcohol are so hard, but
Mom,
I love you guys so much. You guys know I'm here for you anytime. I'll be back on later on tonight. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Mom.
Bye, you guys. Have a great day. Christian, if you need me, call me.